In movies and money, Disney investors are on a roller coaster ride. The stock dropped more than $10 from its high of the week after the CEO warned that Disney Plus streaming numbers will be slimmer in the fourth quarter due to a lighter slate of new content and partial production slowdowns due to COVID. Film critic Eric Childress brings us closer to the action. Hello to you, Eric.
Hi, Angie.
SHANG could be a plus for Disney when it's released for streaming November 12th. This film continues to impress at the box office after a third weekend at #1. What are the numbers telling you about what could be next?
Well, the quick answer to that, Angie, is it is probably passing Black Widow's total later today to become the highest grossing film of the year, and eventually will become the highest grossing film of the past 2 years as well. With $21.6 million this past weekend, the film had the best third weekend of any film since the last Star Wars film, and that total actually would have been the 10th highest of any film back in 2019. And Shang-Chi is now outpacing It Chapter 2 to become the second highest grossing September release ever, and is headed for a total somewhere around, give or take, $235 million. So a new standard has definitely been set for wannabe blockbusters moving forward, taking advantage of being exclusive to movie theaters.
What are some films that could become the next blockbusters?
Now, there should be no question that the new James Bond film, No Time to Die, is going to be the big winner next month. Though it could also be a big test to see if this is the IP title that adult audiences come out for, especially given that Daniel Craig is going all out for his final entry at a nearly 3-hour running time. And we'll talk more about Sony's comic book sequel, Venom, Let There Be Carnage, next week as the response to it begins to form after weeks of schedule shuffling. I would have thought that Universal's horror sequel, Halloween Kills, to be one to really spike the genre crowd into theaters, but the recent announcement of it also streaming on the Peacock at the same time, I think drastically decreases its chances.
A Tony-winning musical has been adapted for the big screen, but it's not feeling the same kind of love from its stage production. Here's a look at Dear Evan Hansen.
When you need a friend to carry you.
Connor wanted you to have this.
And when you're broken on the ground.
Dear Evan Hansen, he wrote it to you.
His last words, Connor took his own life.
Hey, what? I'm sorry, Connor didn't write this.
No, please. It's this.
You will be found.
We didn't think Connor had any friends.
Eric, audiences are not loving this film.
Not at all, Angie. Between The Eyes of Tammy Faye last week and Dear Evan Hansen this week, movie theaters are being overrun with con artists asking for donations. And before you turn over your money at the box office on this one, be aware that this is less the case of a filmmaker botching this transition and more the uninitiated wondering how this was so beloved in the first place. Now, it tells the story of the title character, an anxiety-ridden teenager who finds himself deceiving the family of a classmate who committed suicide into believing that they were best friends. And then everyone sings about their pain. It's a pretty ghastly film that wants us to identify with mental illness rather than eliciting disgust out of the behavior of our protagonist. Nevertheless, the film is really getting hammered in part of the casting of the play's original star, Ben Platt, whose 27-year-old appearance only further takes us out of the illusion of this kid's innocent naivete. In other words, if you're thinking of buying a ticket to it this weekend, take my advice and find World's Greatest Dad instead. It's funnier, more empathetic, and at least you get to hear Bruce Hornsby, David Bowie, and Queen on the soundtrack.
Well, thank you for that heads up, Eric.
Thank you, Angie.
Go to businessfirstam.com for where to see our show on TV.